this weekend is Liverpool Anime and Gaming Con, where I am trading. So I'm gonna bring you guys along with me and try and do my first ever Comic-Con vlog. You wanna say hi, Millie? Millie wants to say hi. Hi, baby. But yeah, it's setup day today, so I'm about to head and set up, and then we're gonna probably finish setting up in the morning just because there's a lot to do and I am kind of limited in what I can do because my partner is very protective, which I completely agree, with this being obviously quite a heavily pregnant con for me. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I'll keep you updated. So I realised that one of my designs for my bookmarks, my dog ones, I'd only printed one side by mistake. So I've stamped the backs and I'm just giving them away as freebies with orders. But so far it's going really well. We're about an hour in. And I think this is the fastest first hour we've had, at least in a while. We've got the snacks ready and we're all good. Okay, so we've got a bit of a lull at the minute. We're just in between crowds, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. So we've hit the 200 mark and we have sold over half the tumblers, which is amazing. Yeah, it's going quite well. So that's day one of con done. We have just got back home after a bit of a hectic day. Obviously, as you can imagine, it's tiring doing events, but when you are doing events pregnant, it is very tiring. So yeah, just for a bit of a breakdown, we made all our costs back, which is amazing. So tomorrow is pure profit, which, yeah, it's always good when that happens. I'm going to do a breakdown at the end of the video of exactly like how much we made and everything, just because I don't mind being transparent about it. But yeah, it was a really fun day, and thank you to everyone who came and said hi or purchased. We are running low on a couple of things, but I honestly do not have the energy to restock them right now because, so tumblers for example, we only have 2 left, but for me to restock them I have to make them at my mum's house, and that's like half an hour away, so I'd be driving for like an hour making them, and I just don't have the energy. So we're just going to make do with those 2. We've got most of the prints, we've got stickers, we've got badges and stuff like that. So yeah, we're not too bad, but there is a couple of items running low. So sellouts aren't the worst thing, but it does mean there's potential for more profit, obviously, if you have more there, because you know that people aren't necessarily going to be like, oh, I was going to get this, but they don't have it anymore. But yeah, it was really fun to see everyone, and let's just hope tomorrow is just as successful. We're over halfway through the day and we've hit a lull. Today has not been as busy as yesterday, but we're still doing really well, so I can't complain. We have had one experience, which I will go into later. Basically, someone came and stole an art print for a challenge that was happening with the panel. Yeah, I'll explain more about it later because it's all been resolved now, so we're all good. But it was just a really odd experience that I haven't had before, so I'm just curious if other people have had that, or if it was just sort of a unique one where it doesn't usually happen, but it just did. Okay, it's been a couple of days since the con. I have had time to go over all the information and I wanted to do a bit of a review of it. And also like a bit of a mini story time about that whole art print situation. Let's start with the art print. So I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced this at a con. It's definitely a first for me. I did speak to a couple people, but no one else really experienced it, so it's just a bit odd. Basically, there was a Has Been Hotel panel, talk about cosplays and things like that. They had a competition and they basically told people, go and find something Has Been Hotel and bring it back. So whilst I'd gone to the toilet and my partner was at the stall, and these two girls came over and basically picked up one of my art print and said, we're taking this for a challenge, and ran off. Now, my partner he's not watched Has Been Hotel. I have. I love the show. He has not seen it, so he didn't even know who the characters were, like who they were dressed as. He didn't see them properly or anything, so he just knew that someone had took prints. So when I got back, he left the stall and he told me they said they took it for a challenge, and I said I don't know if it's something to do with the panel next door. So he went to go hunt and figure it out. We spoke to the organisers. We managed to get the prints back, absolutely fine. And they told the people hosting the panel, you cannot do this. And that obviously if people took things, they have to ask first. If someone had have come to me and said, I need something Has Been Hotel for a panel as part of a challenge, is there anything you can give to me and I'll bring it back? I probably would have said yes, in all honesty. I would have probably give like a mini print or a badge or something, and depending on how polite they were and how nice they were about it, I probably would have just let them keep it because it's a low cost to me and it's just a nice thing to do. But because of the whole way the experience came about, it was just very odd. They ended up being escorted back to us to apologise, which was very, very awkward because like I was just like, yeah, maybe just don't do that. But it's difficult because what you're supposed to say after it's happened, it's like, surely they knew they were in the wrong. They knew they shouldn't have took it without asking properly, but they said they had asked, but they hadn't waited for a response. So if you ask but don't wait for a response, you've effectively not asked. You don't have permission. So yeah, it was just a really weird experience that I haven't had before. So hopefully that doesn't happen again, just because it's so awkward. Like, what are you supposed to do? If anyone else has had that experience, please let me know down below, because I've just never ever heard of it. I've heard of people stealing things, all that. Never heard of anyone having a panel where they say go and find something from this and bring it back. Like, it just seems a bit odd. I just thought it was a really interesting experience that I just don't think many people will have had. Let's go on to the sales and everything, because I like to be transparent about it. I know some people don't like talking money. That's completely fine. If you don't want to know, feel free to skip this bit. But if you are interested, here's kind of the sales and everything. So at this event, it was my first event of the year, Liverpool Anime and Gaming Con. It also happens to be the first event I ever did. So last year I did my first Comic-Con, and that was also the Liverpool Anime and Gaming Con for 2024. So I have something to compare it to for the first time ever. My first repeat event, really, for like the same time period. last year I made $530, $550, something like that. I think it was $550 over the weekend, and I was so happy with that. My
this year,
stall
I had
now
slightly higher expectations.
is triple the size.
It is
because I have developed so much. So a much bigger range of products, and I've just worked so much on it over the last year. It doesn't even look like the same company other than the branding and things. Like it looks so different. It's crazy. But because of that, I wanted a not substantial, like I weren't expecting to double sales or anything like that, but I wanted a markable increase in sales so that I could see the effort I had put in had an effect. The issue is, though, we're in a cost of living crisis, and no one really has money for spending on art and things like that, or they have less money to spend on things like that, because everyone's buying essentials, which is very valid, very fair. But when you're the person creating it, it kind of just, it kind of feels like, was it worth all the effort I put in, basically? So this year I made £625, I want to say. So that's about £75 more than last year. My goal was to get to 700, which I obviously was about £75 short of. But I'm still happy with how much I made. I still beat last year. It just wasn't quite as different as I was expecting initially. Yeah, I think as much as I'm grateful for everything, it stings a little bit. On the Saturday, we made about 350. On the Sunday, we made about 275. So there was a big difference between the 2 days in terms of comparing it to last year. Last year, there was £2 in between the 2 days. So they were both very evenly matched. Whereas this time, the Saturday felt really good, really busy. No real complaints, like it was a good day. The Sunday had a weird vibe though. All day it had a weird vibe. Even the people that were there weren't really looking at stuff. They were kind of like window shopping, where they don't actually stop at a stall, they just kind of glance past. And I know that was the same for a couple of other tables as well. So this wasn't a case of necessarily, oh, your vibe doesn't fit. It's just one of those things, I think. People just struggle with money at the moment, which is completely fair. But yeah, hopefully things will all pick up. I'm hoping my next event is going to be June. I'm just waiting for the applications to go live so I can apply and hopefully get in. And then I have MegaCon Manchester booked in for July. I'm debating booking another one in for July for the beginning of the month. But I'm not sure. The thing is, the one that I want to apply for, if I get into it, it's at the very beginning of June. So I'll have nearly 2 months between those two cons. Whereas if I book one more at the beginning of July, they're pretty much a month apart at that point. And I said that for the rest of the year, unless there was something substantial where I was like, no, I need to do this, I only wanted to do one con a month. Just because I've got a lot going on anyway, and I don't want to overwhelm myself and overdo it. But if you want to know more about where I'm going to be and everything, you can check out my Instagram. It'll always be listed there. I am creating a page for events on my website, just so that it's all in one place again. And I'm also stocked in Red Brick Market in Liverpool, and I will be stocked as of the next couple of weeks in Keep It Local in Warrington. I'm also looking at doing some Kenji pop-ups this year, and also potentially joining Keep It Local in Stoke-on-Trent again after sort of like July time. Also, forgot to mention, very exciting, someone actually saw my last video on YouTube. It's got like barely any views, and someone saw it and came over to my stall, as in a customer, not another trader, and said, "Oh, I saw you on YouTube," and commented, and I was like, oh my god. And it just felt so surreal, because as much as I obviously understand how YouTube works and how social media works, I didn't think I'd meet someone who found my business through YouTube so quickly. It is absolutely crazy, and it kind of like, it made me like actually gasp. Like, I didn't know what to do or what to say, because I kind of felt like I'd been discovered in a secret or something. But yeah, it was so weird. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.